G'day guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Wildkard. Thank you for being here and watching my content. I really do appreciate it. You are here today because it's Super Rugby Round 12, the Crusaders versus the Blues. This was last year these two teams were in the finals, so this is a big match, big draw, and really this game lived up to the hype. Despite the scoring might not look that impressive, there has been some misconception that there needs to be basketball scores for a game to be good nowadays in rugby. No. This game is better than Test rugby. This was so intense, so clinical for both teams, and just sheer grit and determination, grinding each other out, trying to get that every inch on the field to get themselves ahead. And this was better than Test matches, and it doesn't have to be a big score for a rugby match to be good. And go watch this game. It's just unbelievable how much these two teams put it out onto the field, okay? And this is some really good news for all the New Zealand rugby fans. Go into the Rugby Championship, go into the Rugby World Cup with a performance like this out of the, club rugby. You can only imagine how good the Test rugby is going to be. And this is not even the two teams, these are not even the two top teams in New Zealand at the moment. So, the talent pool for the All Blacks is absolutely stacked once again. With that being said though, this match, you can say that, hey, the Crusaders played a bit better. The Blues, may have strategically kicked too much of the ball away. But in the end, I think fundamentally, the difference within the two teams comes down to mental strength, okay? So there's a point in this game where I thought to myself, this could be the game. This could be it. The game could be over. And that was only about 25 minutes into the game. Okay, let's get the exact time on the board. 33 minutes into the game. I thought this game could be over for the Blues. And it turned out to be exactly what I thought. So just let me paint you a picture of what happened early in the game, right? The Crusaders was in the front foot, coming out, home crowd, everybody's behind them, pounding the Blues try line for literally 20 minutes, okay? Not even 20 minutes, 25 minutes, I think it was. And, sorry, not even 25 minutes, 30 minutes. Literally, there was no point scored for 30 minutes. The Crusaders was inside the Blues half, right? There's some ridiculous stats. So, 14 minutes into the game, the Crusaders only had to make 2 tackles. 14 minutes. And the Blues made 71 tackles in 14 minutes of the match. And the Crusaders had opportunities after opportunities, and they spoiled it. The Blues defend really tough defense by the Blues team. And the Crusaders were given the opportunity to kick 3 points early in the match. Multiple opportunities. And the Crusaders were, no, we want to win this game. We want to put this to bed. We want the 7 points. And we want to be, most importantly, in control of the field position that we are given and put more pressure on the Blues. And sure enough, they grinded, they pounded. It took 30 minutes for the Crusaders to finally crack the Blues defense to get the first try on the board, right? Now, if you're the Blues team, you haven't even been into the Crusaders half, like hardly touched the ball, right? And they found the kickoff. Caleb Clark recovers the kickoff for the Blues, and the Blues were finally in the front foot, finally getting an opportunity inside the Crusaders half, putting pressure into the team. The Crusaders were giving away penalties, and guess what? I thought, please don't take the 3. Because you've spent 30 minutes defending, you finally get an opportunity to be on the offense, and the Crusaders giving away penalties because they're under pressure, and the Blues taking the 3 points. And at that point, I thought, yep, they're going to lose the game. Because this is something that I've, criticized mostly with regards to Australian teams. It's not because, it's, logically speaking, if you think about it, the Blues haven't been given opportunity to score points at all, right? You get into the opposition half, you want to be kind of like, there's some stupid thing that I talk about, points per minute visit into opposition 22. Like the stupid stats I've ever seen in my whole life, right? The Crusaders spent 30 minutes inside the Blues 22, and only walk away with 7. The Blues gets in the Crusader 22 for 30 seconds and walk away with 3 points. The Blues surely is going to win the game, right? That was the stupid mentality I think they had with the Blues. And also, more importantly, the Blues wanted the easy way out. They wanted the easy points. They didn't want to put more pressure onto the Crusaders because they have being under so much pressure defensively, right? They were latching onto this tiny bit opportunity to get the 3 points, and they made the decision to take the 3. And mentally speaking, if you look for a way out, it affects the whole team. So the whole team was really just when they were given opportunities to attack, it looked so flat. The Blues, people have no idea. There was no structure. They were just kicking the ball away because they're like, we don't already know what to do because we've been, we've kind of just been trying to find a way to get another easy 3 points somehow, right? That fell into the mentality for the whole game, for the remainder of the game. And I think that's why the Blues lost. We've seen that's, when it comes to the game like this, you need to mentally, not just physically front up the Crusaders. The Blues have physically fronted up the match throughout the entire game, but mentally, they've taken the easy way out. And I think that is the difference between the two teams tonight, to be really frank with you. Outside of that, more technical terms, like I already mentioned some of the stuff, the Blues really look like out of ideas. There was a lot of kicking behind. Like Caleb Clark was getting caught out by the commentary for Grubber kicking the ball behind, just doing really poor kicks. And they literally were like, "Oh, is he injured? Why is he kicking the ball away constantly?" But I don't think that's just the Caleb Clark's fault. That's how the Blues has been playing for pretty much the entire game. Bowden Barrett had an opportunity almost to score a try at the end. Again, just little kicks behind, not really trying to run the ball, not really running like good lines. And the kicks behind us, well, it wasn't really the most opportune moments as well. It was just almost we run out of ideas, guys. Let's just see what happens and let's put this kick through. So that was not really good for the Blues. The Blues though, was a bit hard done by in the set piece. I felt like in the scrummaging, there was a few scrums. I did feel like the Blues looked like they had the dominance, but the referee kind of called the Crusaders side. But that's kind of like 50-50 for both ways. Anyway, and final, but for the Crusaders though, the Crusaders, not only that it mentally was stronger than the Blues, but I did think that the Crusaders kicking game was much more clinical. Like the first 20 minutes, 30 minutes of dominance basically set up because the Crusaders really, really strong kicking game, pinning the Blues inside their own half. Every time the Blues tries to exit, the Crusaders just counterattacks, get themselves back into the position they wanted to play. And also, the Crusaders have much better running support lines on the field. David Havili, Richie Mo'unga, Brendan Ennor were linking up with each other much, much better than Bowden Barrett, what's his name? Bowden Barrett, Riku Ioane, and Zan Sullivan. They're really struggling, fighting each other on the field. And then whereas the Crusaders, when they were attacking, the running lines look much smoother, much more dangerous, was able to get through the defensive line much more frequently than the Blues did tonight. So with that being said, let's have a look at some of the key stats of the match. 2 tries to nil for the Crusaders. Really, really hard 4 points this game. Like it was just absolutely, people were actually getting injured left and right throughout this game as well. Like, hopefully people are okay. I think most concerning is probably Joe Moody. Hopefully he's going to be okay. He looked like he limped off the field really early on in the first half. And then 554 run meters for the Crusaders, Blues 396 run meters. Both teams were, really fighting hard at the breakdowns. So there was 18 turnovers against the Crusaders and 17 against the Blues. So there was a lot of turnovers in this game. And I don't think that's the result of like poor handling so much, but it was just pressure from both teams piling up, compounding that into errors for both teams conceding those turnovers. Tackles made, Crusaders 131, 50 missed tackles. The Blues 204 tackles made, 30 missed tackles. The tackle miss count really fallen off a bit in the second half of the Blues. So the Blues had to make 114 tackles already in the first half, whereas the Crusaders only had to make 36 at halftime. And kicks in play, 36 and 32. 36 for the Crusaders. The Crusaders did manage to hold in control of the game. At halftime, the kicking game was quite even. 14 for the Crusaders, 15 against the Blues, for the Blues. And Blues, only 1 penalty goal for the whole game. And the lineouts, I thought was quite even. The Crusaders had overwhelming lineouts because they were able to ping the Blues inside their own half. The Blues do an exit kick, and it was just, basically barely gets outside their own 22. And the Crusaders go for a lineout, rinse and repeat, just pounding the Blues try line for the first 30 minutes of the game. So there was a lot of lineouts in the first half for the Crusaders. In fact, Crusaders had 12 lineouts in the first half, and the Blues had 0. Not a single lineout was thrown for the Blues in the first half. And then the scrums, like I said, 50-50. Officially, the stat says that the Blues has lost 1 scrum, but I thought it was probably couldn't, at least one of the scrums could have gone the Blues' way in terms of penalty. Penalties conceded 12 against the Blues, 6 against the Crusaders. At halftime, though, the Blues already conceded 8 penalties against the Crusaders too. So Crusaders had so many penalties opportunities to kick for 3 points in the first half, and they just were not. We're going to make you bleed. We're going to hold possession. We're going to control territory. We don't care about stupid stats like visits, points per visit inside the opposition 22. We want to control the game. We want to belt you. We want to wear you out, and then we want to dominate the game. Want to dominate the game with possession and territory, and that's what the Crusaders did. And the Blues was really under the receiving end of that. 8 penalties already halftime, 12 penalties overall for the full game. There was 1 red card against Dalton Papali'i, who put a high shot on Richie Muonga. Correct me if I'm wrong. Richie Muonga got a hit multiple times in the head this game, right? And he was never taken off for an HIA, right? There has to be some negligence going on there. Like I might be wrong. Maybe I wasn't watching maybe I missed something. But I'm pretty sure Richie Muonga never came off the field for a HIA. That's not the right protocol, especially with that red card. When Dalton Papali'i put on him, he should have definitely came off for a HIA, right? Like did I miss it, or let me know if I missed it, because I don't think he got hit multiple times this game. It looked like he never came off, and that was really strange. Whereas yesterday, a bit of a gripe on my part. The Reds, James O'Connor got taken off for an HIA after getting getting a stinger on his shoulder, and in a really crucial part of the game as well. The last within the last 5 minutes, where the Reds really needed him on the field to kind of like guide the team to finish off the game against the Chiefs. Yeah, he was taken off, and he was just like, I didn't even get a hit in the head. And tonight we saw multiple hits in Mwonga's head. Maybe I'm wrong. Let me know if I'm wrong. But I felt like there's some negligence, some conspiracy going on there on the field for the Crusaders to keep Mwonga on the field. Let me know. And let's quickly go through some of the points summary. There's really like a lot of stuff that happened in the game, but didn't result in the score. So like I said, in the first 30 minutes or so, I don't even know how to sum this up. There were so many times the Crusaders got close to the Blues line, and the ball just get popped out of the Blues side, either ripped away, gets held over the try line, knock-ons, and then the Blues just tries to clear the ball out, and Crusaders gets another line out outside of 22. This was just rinse and repeat. The Crusaders gets penalties. They don't go for the 3 points, go for the line out, go for the maul. For the Blues, they defended really well. They absorbed a lot of pressure from the maul, from the attack. They were able to hold the ball over the try line. So really, really, really good effort for the Blues for the most part. And then it was looking like Blues might get out of jail for this one, because it was just so many turnovers conceded against the Crusaders and they haven't walked away with points. And you started to think that maybe the Crusaders made the wrong decision to not take the 3, right? But finally, 30 minutes into the game, Crusaders was able to crack the defense. There was a scrum penalty against the Blues. The Crusaders kicks out for a line out for more, and Cody Taylor just absolutely huge effort carrying the ball out of the maul, gets himself just short of the try line, and then Crusaders, Quinn Strange picks and goes in for the first try for the Crusaders. It was just way too fast at the breakdown, and the Blues were caught a bit off guard, and also maybe a little bit tired after 30 minutes of making tackles. Finally, Crusaders gets on the board. 7 points to 0. The Blues, from the kickoff, Caleb Clark gets the ball, right? Immediately gets the ball in the front. Well, finally, the Blues gets an opportunity to attack. They pound the Crusaders inside their own 22. And 2 penalties, back-to-back penalties. Crusaders under tremendous amount of pressure. I thought for sure you go for the try, right? You gotta tick for tack, and you gotta show your fans, show the Crusaders that, hey, we can put pressure on you and score try as well. And Blues wasn't having it. Was happy to walk away with 3 points. Like I said, I understand the logic. Visit inside opposition 22, points per visit inside opposition 22. All that BS. maybe got into the mind of Dalton Papali'i, but that was definitely the wrong decision there. The Blues finally wrestled the momentum back and just immediately relinquishes it by giving the Crusaders by taking the 3 points. So Blues take 3. I thought that was probably when the Blues lost the game. Turned out it was the point where the Blues lost the game. And then the Crusaders was able to immediately get themselves back in the position again, pounding the Blues try line. And then the Blues were just not able to get out of their own half once again for the remainder of the game. Just before halftime, the Crusaders gets a penalty, and they kind of realizing they're not going to crack the try line again, and happy to take the 3 points before halftime. So going to halftime, the Crusaders 10 points to 4 lead. Second half starts. Immediately 2 minutes in the second half, there was a high shot on Richie Mo'unga. Dalton Papali'i gets a red card that gets sent off the field. And like I said, I don't think Richie Mo'unga came off the field for HIA, but let me know your thoughts. And then with a red card in the bin, or with the 14 players on the field, Crusaders set up this one of the most beautiful tries I've seen in Super Rugby this year. Basically, the Crusaders, I'm pretty sure definitely Richie Mo'unga didn't get taken off the field because he was involved in this play. Richie Mo'unga kind of gets the ball, passes to Brendan Anor out wide on outside center position, so they kind of skip Havili to Brendan Anor to the 13 position, and Anor run undersline. So Anor was running infield from outside to infield, running undersline, while Havili was running an outside line coming from the 12 position. So you have the ball carrier running in, and then you have the 12, which is inside the ball carrier running out. And Eno pops the ball to Havili. So both of this kind of weird V-shaped attack, so Havili just runs straight through. Havili goes through, and then he kind of got a player coming up to sweep him out, throws the ball over the top to Fainga'a Nuku, Leicester Fainga'a Nuku on the wing. Fainga'a Nuku runs into the corner. He jumps. He was upside down in the air, dunks the ball into the corner. This was absolutely spectacular, beautiful try for the Crusaders. The reason Mo'unga was involved in this play because the high shot happened at the same time essentially. So yeah. Let me know though if he was taken off for HI because I don't remember it being the case. So yeah, Crusader gets the second try on the board, 15 points to 3, and then the game kind of just for the next 30 minutes or so, the Blues actually did really well to hold out the Crusaders with a player in the bin. So they had a obviously Dalton Papali'i had a red card, so 20 minutes before the Blues could replace somebody. So yeah, Blues did really well to hold out the Crusaders. But again, the Blues offense was just really non-existent at this point. Every time they got the ball, especially Caleb Clark was just punting the ball out down the sideline, and he was not carrying the ball. It was really, really bad for the Blues when they had opportunities to tap. The defense was quite decent, but if you have no idea of what to do when you get the ball, it really didn't look that good. I do feel like who do they have at 12 tonight? Harry Plummer and Riku Ioane. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with the Blues. I mean Plummer and Ioane were not rookies. But yeah, I wasn't sure what's going on with the Blues backline tonight. Nothing was firing. Mark Talea hardly got the ball. And basically it took away all the way about to, again, the stupid kicking from the Blues almost paid off around 72 minutes into the game. A little kick behind the Bowden Barrett ran up and did a bit of a soccer skills, and he almost recovered the ball just before the try line. The ball kind of bounced awkwardly just before he could have picked it up. The Crusaders players swept it up, and then Bowden almost got a try just before that, just before the try line. And that was 72 minutes into the game, and up to that point, the commentator said, I can't believe this was actually said, the Blues only had 2 visits inside the Crusaders 22. Yeah, that's how bad the Blues has been. They weren't, it was not like they didn't give any opportunities. They had 100 carries. They were not able to play the game into the 22 because they were just kicking away too much. But yeah, that's kind of how the game ended. The Blues was really lackluster in their attacking. I'm not sure if they need to get Roger Tuivasa-Sheck back at 12. or if they need to, you know, figure something out in the, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what's going to happen with the Blues. I mean, without Steven Perofeta, maybe the Blues is missing a bit of that linkage in the back line. But it was looking really bad this week. But let me know your thoughts, guys. Thanks for watching this video. Like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you guys later for more reviews, and have a good one. Cheers.